Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in as always. Thanks for all your kind likes, comments, subscribes, shares, discussions, tips, etc, etc. All very much appreciated. Right, today we're doing FOS. So I'll go through the products first and then we'll have a look at the dirt that we've got to deal with. So trying to keep it nice and simple today, but as always do have a new product to try and a new method to try. So as I say, keeping it nice and simple. We've got Bilt Hamber Autowash for the discs, brake components, etc, just to keep any rust at bay. We've got Garage Therapy 1 wheel shampoo in the tyre bucket and a selection of brushes. And then new for today, we've got Gyeon Foam Q2m. Purely for the reason that I always enjoy Gyeon products and I also like trying new products. So we'll give this a whirl, and this is 1 part product, 5 parts water. So I'm just going to put, which suits me, that's my general vibe, in the Mjjc, 100ml of this, 500ml of water, and we'll see how it goes. And we'll look at obviously thickness, delivery, movement, cleaning power, and does it kill the coating. And for slight method change, we're going to do Bilt Hamber Autowash, mega concentrated, and I'm going to put, I think, 20ml of this into the Mjjc and see how that gets on with delivery. And then for drying, we've got Garage Therapy Sigma, just because I love it, and it will give the car nice gloss, nice level of durability. We've got Garage Therapy tyre serum for the tyres, a little bit of Rain-X 2-in-1 cleaner and repellent, just for simplicity and speed. And in the IK 360 Mini, we've got a little bit of Auto Smart finish, just for mud flaps. And I do also have the remains of last week's Bilt Hamber Surfex HD that I used for cleaning door shuts on the Fabia. So I'm just going to get this up inside the wheel arches, having a little bit of a dwell while I'm probably at the same point as the foam. So when I've done the wheels and then rinse them, etc, and we're getting the foam on, I'll get the Surfex up inside the arches just to give that a little bit of assistance. So I can, when I start pressure washing, I can see if I can get a little bit more extra dirt off. Anyway, let's get the camera off the tripod and we'll have a look at the dirt. So I've used the Forester once since it was last cleaned, and as you can see, we have a fairly healthy coat of, I don't know, Saharan dust. You can see a little clean patch there where I'd used waterless to get rid of some bird poo. I don't like to leave that sitting on the car. The day I drove it was bone dry and it looked like this, highly disappointing, because these days I've become accustomed to the Forester always looking nice and clean, but we got plenty of dirt to be getting on with. So we'll see how Gyeon Foam gets on with that. Wheels don't need much, they're just getting a little tickle. Reason I'm using Garage Therapy is because 1, we don't need a lot of cleaning, and 2, because the wheels are quite clean, 2, I can use 1 bucket and get round all the cars. Fab, S-Cross and Forester. So it's just ideal for that. 2 capfuls in a bucket, selection of brushes, can't get my teeth in, and away we go. Easy. But yeah, so that's the level of grizzle we got going on. Oh, shocking. Anyway, I'll get the camera on a tripod, we'll get into wheels, we'll do that one on cam, then I'll get round and do the rest off cam. As I say, it's just a little tickle for the wheels because they're looking in pretty nice shape, so we'll get them done and that'll be nice and quick, and then we'll get into checking out the Gyeon Foam. Right, I was faffing around trying to find the nozzle for the sprayer. So I've got a slightly narrower one today, so I will be a bit further back from the paintwork for rinsing. And I decided to get the weak touchless up into the arches at the wheel point. Why not? I always end up foaming and or pressure washing all the wheels anyway, so a little bit of extra chemical isn't going to hurt anyone. Also, just to note, I had some Surfex HD left over from last week's door shut cleaning on Fabia, so that's what I'm using for the arches. But also I had some rinseless remaining in the IK sprayer, so I thought I will pour that into the rinse bucket just to give some extra dirt encapsulation and lubrication to the rinse bucket. Something I've been meaning to try for a while actually, but always forget. So we'll have a little tickle around them. Going to use my old faithful wheel mitt a little bit. Got a few little marks. That's from overrunning with Garage Therapy tyre serum, and I want to get into the backs of the spokes and the barrels a little bit, just so that when the car goes in, it's perfect. Like I say, it's going in for MOT on Monday, so I always like it to be as clean as possible. So we'll get into every inch of those. Get the marks off that Garage Therapy's left. Like I said, they don't need a great deal of work, but we want to get them nice nonetheless. I think we're dry all weekend, and also Monday, I believe. Almost forgot. Get a few squirts of Atomac in the discs. Just let gravity work that round. Nice, nice. And then we'll get a little bit of work and shampoo into the arch liners. Promised myself this time round that I would take really good care of the mud flaps. That reminds me actually, I've got my old ones to restore. Be a good test for some plastic restorer. Go gently on the stickers. I learnt from previous experience, it's easy to blow that off. Make sure the fronts are done. Nice, nice. We'll get that pressure washed, and then a second application of Atomac, and I'll get into the rest. You see Garage Therapy tyre serum still serving its purpose well. Fabulous. Another couple of things I wanted to point out. One was, I'm looking at getting one of those tornado, like spinning attachments for the pressure washer for rinsing up inside the arches. And the other thing to mention is that a good hour or two before I started, I laid the hose all flat, and because weather is significantly better and warmer, no problem with curling up at all. It's nice and pliable, laid flat almost straight away. Happy days. Anyway, right, I'll get round to get the others done, give the camera 10 minutes to cool down, and then we'll get into the rest. Right, we've got 100 ml of Gyeon foam in 500 ml of water in the Mjjc, set to maximum. I'll get this half done on cam. Obviously, normally I'd probably mix up 750 or 900 or full for a car this size, but just for getting the quantities, etc., right, I'm gonna go with exactly this. Nice, that is nice. I don't think we're going to have any problem with dwell and coverage. It's like spraying on Dulux Arctic White. So let's get that used up, get it loaded up, and then we'll get straight in and have a look. Ooh, accidentally rinsed a bit. What a pain. Right, let's get straight in and have a look at that. Nice. I rinsed a bit, what a wally. Anyway, let's look at the bit on the bonnet and the roof. Look at that. This reminds me of, I don't know, like my first time with touchless or something, or first time using a product really strong. Or when I first got the Mjjc. It's just sort of clung. All over. Yeah. Not too bad. I suppose really we want a bit runnier and we want to be seeing that, to be honest. But, you know, in terms of thickness, great. And this is like ground zero. So next time, I know undoubtedly we could go half that ratio, 50 ml in 500 ml of water, or 100 ml in a litre. That would be probably just about right. Tiny bit, a bit weaker, more quantity, happy days. It is starting to drip a little bit. Smells nice, smells really nice. Let's have a little look at, you know, it feels like there's some lubrication there, which, you know, you don't expect from foam. With foam, what you're normally expecting is shampoo has the lubrication. Foam is more cleaning power. Right, let's get in, get this out of the sun, get the cam down. We'll have a little look at that. And of course we can evaluate things like, you know, when I've done Halford's advanced snow foam, yeah, it's really thick. It seems to perform all right, but because of its thickness, it takes an age to rinse. So we'll stand back here. So that's next to no pressure. I'm as far away, I don't know, about 1.5 meters. I was stood right behind the camera. Definitely not killed the coating. Coating's looking great. So we'll get the camera back and I'll get round and get that all rinsed off. Just get this up. Make sure I don't break my neck. There we go. Hopefully that's all right. Now I've got a tripod with a million different settings. It's got, you know, tweakability. And I know I may not have, you know, remembered protocol on that last one. I was just having a spray for fun, for cam. From a distance really, so we can see how much effort it takes. And it sprays off easy, it's nice. You know, from back here, I'd sort of commented before with the Halfords one, it had like a, as soon as you started hitting it, it was a bit sort of gelatinous, if you like, and it tended to sort of thicken up. A bit like what we're seeing here, but to more, you know, more of an extreme. Anyway, it's the first shoot of that one, so there's plenty of time for tweaking. To be honest, given the fact that we're in blazing hot sunshine and I'm beginning to melt, it's still sitting up really nice on the front. I'll get this done on the time it takes to get it done, and then we'll have a quick look around the other side just to see how it's sitting. And I'm purposely missing the roof at the moment. Just a second opportunity to hit the wheels just to get rid of or neutralise any chemicals. So that's that side done, and camera's been rolling 7.5 minutes. It's still sat. I didn't do massive coverage on the boot. We've still got, in like blazing sunshine, and the panels were boiling, we've still got coverage. Right, I'm going to get a rush on because I just noticed the little panel starting to dry off. But anyway, yes, very impressive. Right, I'm going to wet the car off, get it all rinsed, and then we'll see what Mjjc, how the Mjjc delivers Bilt Hamber Autowash. Back in a moment. Right, I've just had a little break. I'd finished rinsing, but as you can see, it's still got quite a lot of the dust on it. So it's a great opportunity to do another second hit of the foam, and we'll test it at a weaker ratio. Anyway, I'll just hit this and you'll see it's quite hydrophobic, but still dusty. So the water action is lovely, but as it starts to dry, you can still see the dust. So two things, I'm going to give that a second hit with the foam at a weaker ratio, so we get an opportunity to see that test, and also I'm going to put 50 ml of rinseless in my wash bucket to give it extra lubrication when I go in and start hitting that with the contact wash. Right, I'm just going to get the Mjjc filled up. So I'm going to put 50 ml of P&S Absolute in my wash bucket as if I was doing a hybrid wash. All good. And for a second test of Gyeon, we'll put 50 ml in a full Mjjc. So 50 there. Apologies for my hands. So we'll make sure we've got exactly 50 mil. There we go. So this is going to be significantly weaker. 50 mil. Hopefully that'll all sink down nicely. 50 mil in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 900 mil of product of water, or 950 mil of water, and 50 mil of product. So give that a little swish. Double check we're recording. Just starting to get conscious of thermal shutdown, and hopefully also putting the rinseless in the wash bucket give me a little bit extra lubrication to encapsulate the dust. There we go. Lovely. So I'll get that all over, get it up in the arches. Give the wheels another smash. So we've got roughly half the amount of product in twice the amount of water. Consistency is nice. Leave a bit in the cannon for my next wash. While that's having a dwell, let's see, test. My daughter gave me an idea about doing whether or not that is visible. We were talking about what to do when I hit my 4,000 subs, and she said, why don't you write 4,000 in foam? Which is a great idea, and I was thinking I'll make some B-roll of doing that in the bonnet, on the bonnet, because it's not going to drip down so much, and then I can make some subliminal please subscribe type clips without doing direct begging. So I'm just going to energize the wash bucket. Much easier to rinse, as you can see. Nice, nice. Right, let's get the camera down and we'll go and see if it's made any difference to bonnet, where we still had some dust spots. same. You can see the water action's good, but you can still see the dust spots. So I'm going to say it'll be a good idea to use a little bit of rinseless in the bucket. I'm going to put the shampoo on using the Canon, and then use one rinse bucket which has got P&S Absolute in it, just to help with some additional lubricity. Right, back in a moment. So the reason I'm trying Bilt Hamber Autowash in the Mjjc is because a good friend of the channel said you'll get bored of Bilt Hamber Autowash because it lasts so long, but said it should work in the Mjjc. So we got 20ml in the Mjjc, set to max, little shake, 500ml of water, off we go. Wow. Well, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. Well, I'll get all around the car and I'll come back for some more on this side in front of the cam. So we'll give her a good old liberal coating. Well, who knew? 20ml. Look at that. Well, this bodes well for another test that the same good friend of the channel mentioned regarding testing shampoos versus wheel shampoo versus foam. Because look, when that comes out like that thick, nice. Right then. Hybrid wash, plenty of P&S Absolute in the mitt, top down, not too much pressure, straight lines, and there's going to be copious amounts of rinsing because of the layer of dust. Anyway, the reason I like that method as well, I've always enjoyed doing it this way because you can see clearly where you've been and where you haven't. It's one less bucket. It's just really simple. Really simple. I mean, I wouldn't normally, if I was putting shampoo on with a Canon, I wouldn't normally put rinseless in as well. But as mentioned, because of the dust layer on the car, I thought, you know what, a little bit of additional encapsulation won't hurt. Oh dear, it's one of those days. Right, let's get this one done on cam. It does feel nice. You know, both the Bilt Hamber Autowash delivered you in that method and the rinseless in the bucket. Whoa. Wicked. That is wicked. Right, I'm going to bash round. Bash round. I can't imagine this taking long at all. I'm terrible for discussing the process at the start of the video, and then while I'm working I have other ideas. I think that was primarily because I was noticing the little dust circles as I was rinsing, and also that has made me think, oh, it's going to be a pain to dry So that's made me wonder whether to do just a little nip of some kind of spray coating in the Mjjc, just so I've got that optimum beading to help with the drying process. I might go and grab the Halford's Advanced Ceramic Sealant in a mo. We'll put that on. I'll have a really quick dry, like a what I would call a preliminary dry, then go round with a damp towel and a little bit of Sigma. Well, it's lifting up that dirt, fine. Dust, believe it or not, despite the fact the car looks glossy, still visible traces of that dust. And if you're wondering why I'm being so fussy about double rinse, double foam, rinseless in the bucket, it's because Foz had paint at great expense at the end of last year. So I want to do everything in my power to keep that paint mar-free and happy. Get a little bit in the scuttle. I think that's that nearly done. We're all right. We're all right. And I think I've done the butt. Let's get that lidded up. I'll make good use of that in a mo. Just make sure the camera's still rolling, not cooking. Nice, it's all back to normal. I'm feeling a detangle coming on. It was perfect when I started. Right, let's get that all rinsed. I'll pause cam in a minute, go and get some sealant. That's better. Right, let's get this paused. I'll go and get some sealant. We'll get that on. Foz won't moan about another coat. Right, that's thoroughly rinsed. And I've got 50 ml of Halford's Advanced Ceramic Foam Sealant in just over 250 ml of water, just so I can make sure I get round the whole car. And I always start off with the dial turned back one full turn, just to make sure I can get round the whole car. someone did say to me actually in the comments the other day that at this stage, if you use a towel or brush to work the product in to the glass, it lasts longer. I will try that another day. So we'll go on to max now. Just get that all loaded up. Got the fan wrong. Here we are. Get that everywhere. Nice, nice. You get this all used up. Super job. We'll get that straight off. And then I'll do one buzz round with the woolly mammoth. And then a little dash with my nominated Sigma towel. Lovely, lovely. Sweet. Just want to make sure it doesn't dry, get it all distributed all round. And we are good. Water behaviour is working a treat. Lovely jubbly. Let's get in for a few close-ups, shall we? Nice, nice. That's what we want. Wheels and tyres, nice and hydrophobic. Glass, lovely. External plastics, all good. Everything great. Nice sheet, nice, well, nice feed, I should say. Wonderful, wonderful. What we want. You can see it's got a nice shine because you can see me in it. Nice. Right, let's get this on the tripod again and I'll get it, just make sure it's wet and fully rinsed, which I believe it almost is. And then we'll get this in a nice spot for a spot of towel action, which I think we'll commence on bonnet, and then after that we'll move around and do the side. With a car this size, I like to make sure it's absolutely as wet as possible and the towels are in direct availability, because with black you want to get it as dried as quick as possible to prevent any water spots. And as always, the first couple of pushes, not great. I always find that you want to get, once you start getting a bit of weight and some moisture in the towel, then it becomes easier, or more efficient, should we say. But as you can see, that is coming up a treat with not a great deal of effort. So I'm going to buzz round at breakneck speed and get a preliminary towel dry done with a woolly mammoth. That can sit there and get a little bit damp. So I'm going to buzz over, just get this nice and wet. The towel, that is, obviously not the car. So what I found before, if your cloth is absolutely drenched, I think I did 2 in a row the other day with the same towel, and as amazing as Sigma is as a drying aid, as the towel got more waterlogged, it was like, no, I'm not doing that. Not interested. What are you talking about? So it just became a bit of a pointless task eventually. So I had to succumb to a secondary drying towel, shall we say, Sigma application towel. Right, we'll go round easy. And then I'm going to just dampen off the other towel. And then we'll do Sigma as a drying aid. Because I think, the reason I'm doing that today, nice gloss, nice protection, but just wonderful as a drying aid. So that'll do for that. I'm going to find somewhere sensible for this on my wash bucket. Little shake, check cam, and stop it. Oh, that's the only thing. It won't stop coming out. Stop. Well, I've got to release the pressure. That's my only complaint. But apparently, I'm on my own in that department. No one else has had a problem. Right, let's get this a bit wet. Moist, should we say? That was like in between us. It won't stop. Stop it, Neil, I can't. Right, we're in a better place now. Let's just see where the camera can actually see. Might as well do that as well. Nice. Nice. 1, 2, stop squirting. Wowzers. That stuff is just amazing. It's like Insta Shine. Sorry. I'll get the camera here. I mean, I know the car's shiny, but this is another level. Another level. 1, 2. And then literally push over the panel to ensure even distribution. And that is it. With one more on cam. 1, 2, and obviously overspray, because that's how my bottle rolls. Oh, that's like heaven. That is like heaven. Right, I'm gonna get round, get all that done. I'll be back in a moment. Right, that is that. Garage therapy, tyre serum on the tyres. As you can see, they're still pretty largely hydrophobic, so it's taken a bit of time to soak in, as you would expect, but the product is serving me well nonetheless. You can see car's got a reasonable shine from a distance. Few areas I'm not completely happy with, but we are where we are. But it's looking pretty good nonetheless. Sigma V3 on all the wheel fronts and in the spokes. Auto Smart finish on the mud flaps, and then a little bit of garage therapy on the leading edge. I put Auto Smart in the arch liners just to provide a glossy appearance and a little bit of protection, nothing too major. I did think, I've been wondering what to treat the mud flaps with and the wheel arch liners, and it reminded me, garage therapy tyre serum, man, all day long, because it feeds the plastic and feeds the rubber. Anyway, so stand out for me in that one. Well, two things. That you can use significantly less Gyeon foam. It is very strong. It doesn't eat the dust. I wasn't really too sure what to do about that, but I don't appear to have introduced any marring to the paint, which is nice. And the other thing that's interesting is I was genuinely wowed by the delivery of Bilt Hamber Autowash in the foam cannon. I never saw that coming in a million years. I thought 20 mil in 500 mil of water, it's going to come out all runny and substandard and is going to be rubbish. But no, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And at the end I had a little smash of normal garage therapy QD, just for any last strips, the little bits that come out of the number plate, etc., door handles, usual suspects. Anyway, oh, that was wonderful. I really enjoyed that. It's been a testing week at work, should we say, without going into too much detail. And I was very much looking forward to a chill, extra rinsing, pre-wash, foam, etc., a little bit of a waffle chat with you lot, which I genuinely adore. It's like a nice little outlet. Just get out here, chill out, get the McLean on, and it's good times. And generally, you know, I'm not just sort of trying random things. I try to respond to comments, suggestions, where I've got time to plan and I can work a process and a test into that. So I genuinely read, screen grab every single comment that pops up and then try and action my videos around that. So that's a bit of clarification as well. It's like, I'm not suggesting the things I use I'm endorsing or saying are the best in the business, but I just like doing it and I like testing new products all the time, which is nice. No marring. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one. I did, as always, and I very much look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the content, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Otherwise, I'm more than happy for you to dip in and out as products crop up on the channel that you're interested in, okay? Anyway, nice to see you as always. Take care. Bye-bye.